Hey guys, this week is going to be a Ducati Party. That means we're going to be bringing this Panigale out of my living room so we can bring a Monster in because it's Canada, it's cold outside, and we just plain do not want to be working on the bike outside when we can work on the bike inside. Alright, let's do it.
So the trick is that there is no trick. You really just have to try not to break the house. That's really the only trick. Folding the mirrors helps. Whee!
You're free!
Freedom!
New bike is in. Well, new old bike is in. Time to install these little bar and mirrors. So one reason why I really like these is it seems like there's a good deal. There's like multiple different bend points so you can kind of adjust your twist, but then it also goes a lot of flexibility here at this point. And then also here there's another pivoting point too. And it comes with, hello, it comes with basically everything you need. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and we are gonna go ahead and do the turn signals on this bike. So I got one where I got a lens that's kind of half broken, got a bulb that doesn't work, so we're just gonna replace them all together with these new LEDs with restrictors while we watch some Netflix. Alright, so that was really easy. Took the seat off. What was discovered was that these are actually going to be really plug and play. I can just rip those out, and then I'm going to show you what happens next. So, you're going to grab your turn signal, run it through where you just took the old one out of. They also come with these nuts. If not, you can use the nuts that you just removed earlier. Run this through, use the nut to tighten this up to hold it in place, etc. And because these are LEDs, what happens is if you install an LED directly into your harness, you get a lot of really rapid flashing, which you don't want. You're gonna look like a goof. So what you do is you get these relays, and I'm gonna post a link to the signals I use as well as the relays, and they're entirely plug and play. So all you do, you run black to black, pop that in, seal it up, like so, color to color, pop it in, all the way, cover it up with the plastic, like so, and then you're gonna take the other end and plug those in back to your harness just as they were, and you're going to see when we turn that on, after we do that, we're going to have no rapid flashing.
I'm super happy with how everything came out on the bike. Signals are really sweet. Also, they kind of open up the back, so even if you're behind me, you'll be able to see the flash. Little hard to see in daylight, but get the idea. The mirrors are great also. The Monster is such a fun, lightweight little machine, and it's got a lot of character and personality, which is really one of those things that you can't see on a spec sheet. You know, I'm a guy who switched back and forth between a Suzuki Cruiser and a Sportster, and on paper, the Suzuki had the Sportster beat in a couple realms, not in all of them. But when it came time to what was just downright more fun, the Sportster was by far the bike with more character and way more personality. This little Monster's kind of like that. You know, I was riding an FZ6 the other day, and while the FZ6 has the Monster beat on paper, I mean, this bike here, how it makes its power, the sound, even just the style. Monster's a great bike. That was a big bump. The Monster really is happiest doing over 60 kilometers an hour. It's happiest around 40 miles in the city. Seems to get up to there in a heartbeat. But sometimes the littlest bikes are the ones that everyone else the more experienced motorcyclists will kind of just shrug off as, that's a little bike. A Panigale owner is never going to be impressed by a Monster. A V-Rod owner is never going to be impressed by a Sportster. But the reality is that while manufacturers wish they had them. You'd be kidding yourself if you think that Honda doesn't wish it had a Sportster. That was kind of the whole point of the Shadow Phantom. Because the reality is that these smaller bikes, they sell huge volumes. So for example, there have been over 300,000 Monsters produced. And compared to other bikes, it's not a lot. But we gotta remember that Ducati it's not a Honda, it's not a Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, it's not one of the big four. So for a niche kind of boutique brand to produce 300,000 units of one model, that's pretty impressive. Other thing to keep in mind, everybody who rides these bikes loves it, and you see a lot of celebrities who specifically go out of their way to mention their Monsters. You got a lot of musicians. You have like Alanis Morissette, who's publicly spoken about how much she loves her Monster. You have all the way down to the alphabet to like Usher, totally different style, kind of like this dude. Totally different style. It's really universal, just beautiful, attractive Italian bike. On the celebrity side of things, you have guys like Adrian Brody, Orlando Bloom. It just seems like everyone who jumps on one of these things absolutely loves them. One thing a lot of people don't know about the Monster, and really its popularity, is that, let's take a popular bike, for example, Suzuki's GSXR. Gixxer comes in a 250, obviously a 600. There's probably a liter bike or two in there somewhere. And maybe in some of the Asian markets, they might have some sub 600cc sizes as well. So that's maybe 3 or 4 possible Gixxers in production right now this year. The Monster, at the height of her popularity, had 9 different versions in production in the same year, which I think is really all I have to say to tell you what the worldwide appeal of this bike is like. I like to ride around these rich neighborhoods because it reminds me how poor I am. No. I like to ride around these rich neighborhoods because it kind of keeps me motivated to keep doing my entrepreneurial stuff. Keep working hard on the 9 to 5. Like there's 2 kinds of people out there. People who see what others have and get jealous and say, if only I had this, or if only I could, or I can't do that because... And then you have people who see what others have and they think, I'm gonna get to that by doing this. Or I could do without that, but what I really want is this, and that's how I'm gonna get there. So I like to come down these really fancy pants neighborhoods and watch these guys push their $1,000 strollers because it kind of keeps me motivated. Also, usually when the weather's nicer, you come through here and there's nothing but like smoking hot girls jogging up and down these streets, and it's like, hello. Just right now it's too goddamn cold, so there's no one here. Great thing about the Monster is just with the low seat height, the narrow seat, it is pretty beginner friendly. I'd say it's really an intermediate bike. It's got good pickup when you don't have a Kia in front of you. And anytime you're looking at an old bike, what you have to ask yourself is, because it's a 2005 model I'm on, what you have to ask yourself is, has this bike withstood the test of time? Because, I mean, it's like a good album or a good song. And truthfully, I'm sure the new Monsters are much better, but this little 620 is everything you could ask it to be. It's really good for lane splitting. You don't have to have ever ridden it to ride it like you've already been on it, if that makes sense. I don't think anyone can complain about the handling of this bike. The position is perfect. I would probably put a 1-inch riser on this. It's probably going to be my next move. Just to be a little bit more upright up here instead of down here. I think next week I'm going to do a review of the Monster. Hopefully it'll be warm enough weather to really rip on it and maybe scrape some pegs outside of the city. But for now, I mean, what I can tell you is this. They call it the bike that saved Ducati, and they call it that for a reason. This thing is a beautiful machine. Incredibly fun. It handles just great. The small frame size, tight wheelbase, adequate suspension. It's a blast to ride. So if that sounds like fun and you like the video, And you want to see more Ducati video content, I also got the Ninja 300, FZ6, Sportster, V-Rod. Got a bunch of bikes, so lots of videos coming out. If that kind of stuff interests you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications. Peace.